Hello everyone, today we plan to take a closer look at the Vulcan label printer applicator in its direct apply format. What sort of user would this product appeal to? Well, it's aimed at customers who want to print real-time information onto a label and apply this to a moving package, such as a shrink wrap pack or a cardboard box. So what can we print on a label? Well, print head widths can be from 53mm up to 152mm. The most commonly used head being the 107mm. In direct apply format, this will print a label up to 110mm high and apply it straight onto the side of the package as it travels along the conveyor. We can print almost anything we want on label area as long as it's single colour, so barcodes, graphics, complex ingredients are all possible. The resolution is 12 dots per millimetre or 300 dots per inch, which means barcodes are very crisp and legible and will meet ANSI standards. So the Vulcan has a very broad appeal, from slower lines producing food and e-commerce products up to very fast lines in the bottling, canning and distillery industries. So let's just run the machine very briefly to show you how that works. As usual, we're going to look at the physical layout of the machine first. It's a very compact design, mainly because it doesn't need any cylinders or valves. In fact, it's an airless design and needs no compressed air at all. So let's take a look at the components of the Vulcan. There are only two: the printer itself and the Clarity interface. This is the operator's HMI and can be located anywhere within 3 meters of the printer. Having a two-box format offers an incredible amount of flexibility, and the small physical size means the Vulcan can fit inside packaging machines as well as alongside conveyors. The machine has a horizontal base plate and is applying on the vertical side, but of course it could be mounted vertically and apply a label to the top or bottom of a product. All external connectors are located on the rear of the machine, but in this case underneath. They are grouped together to make the installation easier and neater. All the machine really needs to be able to operate is electricity and a signal to print and apply the label. The electricity supply may be 115 or 230 volts. The Vulcan will adapt accordingly. Sensors, encoders, beacons and connections to the whole systems are all made via this connector, and the Vulcan has a fast Ethernet connector to allow easy connection to networks. So what makes the Vulcan unique and gives it a superior performance? Well, the simple answer is intelligent motion. This is the name we have given to the collection of smart technology which allows the Vulcan to run faster than any other label printer applicator, and so allows it to print and apply labels directly onto packages without any complex blow and tamp mechanisms. So let's take a look at the clever technologies which make up intelligent motion. First, we have the label drive system. This has no nip rollers and no friction drive, and so all the wear and slippage associated with these have been removed. Incredibly, the Vulcan drives its label web purely from the rewind shaft. The real clever part is that the Vulcan software has the ability to maintain the web speed and acceleration absolutely precisely as the waste diameter increases. This means we can run faster, we don't wear parts out, and we have a super simple web path with no trap points for labels or fingers. The second piece of clever technology is the ribbon drive. This is based on the patented and proven technology used so successfully in our Zodiac range of printers. This drive has no clutches, springs, brakes, or in fact any wear parts. It achieves its speed and performance from directly driven stepper motors, one pulling the ribbon, the other pushing. The last piece of the intelligent motion is the print head mechanism. This is managed entirely through electronics and software, again with a very precise stepper motor control to achieve the actual movement. This incredibly precise control means we can achieve very high print speeds, extremely long head life, whilst producing really clear, legible prints with high standards of barcode legibility. The combined advantages of the intelligent motion means we can lift and lower the head, stop and start the ribbon drive at any time, and so we never waste ribbon. The Vulcan uses what it needs and no more. So now we've looked at the components, let's take a look at the operation of the Vulcan. Everything is managed from a single interface, known as the Clarity. The layout of the Clarity is common across all ICE products, and it will be familiar to many users of our Zodiac and Viper products. Clarity has been designed really with a few simple goals: make the operator's life easy and reduce coding errors. What we're looking at here is the home screen. This can be reached at any time by simply pressing the Home symbol tab located in the top left-hand corner of the screen. From here, the operator can achieve most of his requirements on a day-to-day basis with very few button presses. These include changing the job and previewing the current job selected. Let's run the printer for a while and take a look at what the home screen tells us. We can now see that the printer is printing at 83 packs a minute, and we can see when the labels and ribbon are expected to run out if we stay at this speed on this print job. The precision of the intelligent motion system allows us to measure the label and ribbon usage accurately and predict when they will run out. How clever is that? Let's take a look at what the operator might need to do on that day-to-day basis. The most obvious requirement for the operator is to change the print job. There are a number of ways to do this, but the simplest and most common way is to press the job button. This will then present us with a list of jobs that have been saved to the local memory of the printer. But if you require it, the list could be stored on a server and sent remotely. We can see that this Vulcan is connected to our own network via the ClaraSuite software. If we now choose a job called Vulcan DA1, you will see that the Vulcan has prompted for some decisions to be made. These decisions and rules around them are managed within the ClaraSuite label design software. You can learn about this in the ClaraSuite video. In this case, the job we have chosen has some options for the operator. One option involves a date. In this case, the machine has calculated the correct date based on an offset from today's date, but will also allow the operator to make a change to this, but in a controlled way to prevent errors. This job also contains a field with a batch code. Again, we can edit this value within a permitted range. If we are printing GS1 barcodes, the software is clever enough to know this and will merge the data into the barcode. If any of the data is edited by the operator, the barcode will be automatically updated. In this case, we can now see the new values updated into the barcode alongside the application identifiers. This really is clever software. It's even aware of specific date rules operated by various supermarkets and can adjust dates to deal with events like Christmas and bank holidays. We have now selected our new job. We can see this at any time by pressing the job name on the screen. The printer will now show us a full WYSIWYG view of the print job, a perfect preview of what is being printed. Another important part of the operator's life is dealing with events. For example, the labels running out. The machine will warn us of this and of course predict this event based on current job and speed. When the labels do finally run out, the printer will stop and advise clearly what has happened, along with instructions about what needs to be done to resume printing. The Vulcan also has onboard tutorial videos. These can guide the operator through the most frequent things he will need to do: changing ribbon, changing labels, cleaning the print head, etc. Once the operator has replaced the labels, they need to simply press the button to place the Vulcan back online. The machine will now feed a couple of labels to check the label size and is again ready to go. The label capacity is best in class. A typical label size would allow 9,000 labels on a reel. This will give 3 hours non-stop running at 50 packs a minute. Before we leave the Clarity and return to the printer, let's look at one last point about job selection and coding errors. Although the Clarity is a pretty simple interface, if you really want to reduce risk of errors, scanning barcodes is the most secure way to do this. In this case, we simply connect a USB scanner to the Clarity and scan a barcode to select a job. Typically, this barcode will be part of a production order, or it could even be the primary barcode on the packaging. This feature is standard within the software. Also standard in all Clarity interfaces is the web browser. If this is enabled, the screen can be operated via a web browser in exactly the same way as it would be operated locally. This feature is very useful for remote diagnostics, and it also makes it a very simple process to integrate the Clarity system into a packaging machine. This to allow all the printer functions to be operated from the screen of the packaging machine. Of course, in some cases, the Vulcan will need to print unique information on every label and obtain this information from an external source, perhaps a PLC or a weight scale, or even direct from a warehouse management system. It can do this very easily and has a wide variety of physical and software connectivity options to achieve this. So that's the Clarity interface. Let's take a more detailed look at the printer and how we would need to install it. This is the only part of the machine which needs an external connection. It just needs electricity. Either 110, 230 volts is fine. The printer will adapt accordingly. Remember, the Vulcan needs no compressed air. The other connections allow the machine to be connected to networks and to control systems or packaging machines. This connector houses all the digital signals, including print signals, faults, warnings, and encoder inputs. This is a massive benefit for easy installation and application flexibility. In direct applied format, we can connect an encoder and the machine will track the changes in speed of the packaging line. This means we can always apply the label in exactly the same place, even at high speeds. It's also possible to connect several Vulcans together in what we call zero downtime configuration. In this case, the lead machine will print and apply labels until it runs out of labels or ribbon. At that point, the backup machine will take over automatically without any packs being missed. In this case, the line need never stop for label or ribbon changes. So that's the Vulcan Direct Apply. It's fast, it's simple, and it doesn't miss packs.